Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Scorpio, you are up for the December 2021 Tarot Energy Reading. Last but most certainly not least, before I go any further, kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right, Scorpio, as I always say with any reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it is not your story, don't try to make it fit. Also, for this particular reading, I'm doing it different from the way that I have done previous readings for those who have listened to my previous readings before. This reading, I have 5 decks that I am using. I'm using the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. I'm using the Under the Roses deck. I'm using 2 custom tarot decks that I created. And then also I'm using the Gypsy Tarot deck. I'm taking 1 card from each deck. If more than 1 card comes out, then I'll more than likely take it. But the goal is to take just 1 card from each deck and then tell you what the energy is and give my interpretation of that. All right, so let's get started. May I have the energy for Scorpio for December 2021? May I have the energy for Scorpio for December? Thank you. Whoa, 2 cards came. You know what? That happened with Libra too. There was something, I forgot what it was, but it was something involving 2 signs, and I feel like it was you in Libra. Maybe there's a Libra in your life. But yeah, and also this card has come out 3 times, which is Sarah Lakali, which is divine lineage. This is about your ancestors walking with you and rooting for you and protecting you, Scorpio. And also getting in touch with your ancestral heritage as well, which I'm going to read. I read the actual interpretation out of the book for each card. This one has not come out in anyone's reading, but the Sarah Lakani, this one came out in Taurus's reading, and it came out in who else's? There was one other person that came out in, I forgot what other sign, but I know it came out in Taurus's reading. And this one is Mayat, giving and receiving. So let me go ahead and get my book. In the Sarah Lakali, I will read that one right quick. All right, Sarah Lakali, goddess of divine lineage, Romani, Egypt, temple, ancestors, element, water. Again, maybe there's a water sign in your life that you're dealing with. Also, this is your energy too, as well, Scorpio. So keep that in mind. Great ancestress Sarah Lakali, meaning Sarah the Black, was an Egyptian prophetess and the patron saint of the Romani people. Oral history says that Saint Sarah had the highest divine lineage. Your ancestors protect the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is you. Divine ones walk beside and within you. Trust, embodiment. Your ancestors want to remind you that you are not alone. They are rooting for you. They ask you to honor your spirit guides and call upon the power of the divine. Create and nourish your ancestral altar or shrine. Unbury your ancestors, speak their names. Your divine lineage ancestors may be blood related or culturally or spiritually related. The declaration is, I am my sister, and my sister is me. So keep that in mind, Scorpio, as well. And I forgot what other, I can tell you what other sign, because for their title it was You Are Not Alone. Who was that? Leo. That's who it came out for. It came out for Leo. All right. So back to this. With this card coming out, this is just a reminder, and I'm being told to articulate this message to you differently because it was different for Taurus. The message was different for Leo, and the message is different for you. When you're questioning what you're made of, where there's some type of questioning, it's like, can I do this? Am I able to do this? Something is telling me to tell you that the people who came before you, your blood ancestors, and you may not know much about your family tree. You may not know much about that. But with this card, and I'm trying to bring it closer to the screen here, Sarah Lakali, with this card is saying that you come from a divine heritage. The cloth that you are cut from is a different type of cloth, Scorpio. So if you are questioning your ability to accomplish a goal or to move forward, if some of you are feeling like, I don't know if I can go any further, I don't know if I have the energy to keep running in this race, this marathon that we call life, this card is reminding you. Something just said, remember who you are. Remember who you are. So, yeah, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Something just said, remember who you are. Some of you may know about your family tree and your history and what your ancestors have been through, but it just hasn't been on your mind because you've been consumed with this thing that we call life, where all this stuff has been happening around you. You haven't had a chance to tap into that old ancestral energy to remember, to be like, wow, my relatives before me have been through a whole lot of stuff. And if they made it through and they were able to persevere and overcome and conquer and make it to the top of the mountain, then I can make it to the top of the mountain. That's what this is saying for me, the message to deliver to you. The biggest message is remember who you are, is what's coming out. That one is in my head right now. So yeah, remember who you are. Remember what cloth you are cut from. You're cut from a different type of cloth. Your lineage is not the type of lineage of, what's the word? I don't want to say cheap. There's another word I'm looking for. Can I have some backup here, please? Okay, thank you. I like the good. That is good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, the cloth that you are cut from, it's not cloth that tears easily. It's not, you know how some people, like if the cloth rubs up against something and then it just rips really easily, or somebody can just take it and rip it really easily and do that. The divine lineage that you come from, the type of cloth that you come from, is not a cloth that can be ripped apart easily. It's not. It's almost like, I'm thinking like Kevlar or whatever, because where it's embedded, it reminds me, there was this inventor, I forgot what her name was, but she came up with this bulletproof vest made out of cloth. You have to look this up. It was back some years ago. I forgot what her name was. She came up with it where if the bullets hit, it didn't go through the thing. It didn't go through the vest. But it was out of actual, it was some type of way that she weaved it or did something, whatever. Look it up. I know I had seen it. But the point is that that's you. That's like, you're a special type of cloth. You're not the everyday at Michael's where you just walk in and pick up any type of cloth. I guess people still go to Michael's. I don't know. But where you walk in, you pick up any type of cloth and then you're like, oh, I'll just take that. No, you're the type of cloth where you remember in the movie Crazy Rich Asians, and this isn't cloth, this is jewelry that I'm talking about. When she goes into the jewelry store, but it's like everyone's in the outside shopping around, but she goes to the back where the expensive jewelry is at. That's the type of cloth that you are, Scorpio. You're the expensive cloth where you're not the cloth out on display. You're the cloth that people have to go to, manager and their security around, and they have to go through layers to get access to you because you're a special type of cloth due to your lineage. Remember who you are. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now on to the other card. Mayat or Ma'at. Let me go ahead, and this says giving and receiving is what it says. Let me hold it up so you can see it. For those who are watching, for those who are listening, obviously this doesn't matter. But for those who are watching, I'm holding it up so you can see it. All right. Number 10. Let me see. Number 10. All right. Goddess of giving and receiving. Egypt, temple, conjurers, element, air. Some of you may be dealing with an air sign. Goddess Mayat represents alignment, truth, and balance. Her name means order. As her father, Egyptian sun god Ra, rose out of the chaos and put her in charge of divine justice. Mayat guidance. Reset your harmonic balance. You are out of alignment. The sacred scales command you to give and receive. If you receive without giving, you are selfish and out of alignment. If you give without receiving, you are stuck in martyrdom and out of alignment. Okay. This is a remember who. Yours is a little bit similar to Virgo's situation, where Virgo needed to speak up. What I'm picking up from this right now is reciprocity. And that was something else that came out. I'm pretty sure temperance came out at the end with balance as you're going into 2022. You need to make sure that you are in relationships where there is reciprocity. I'm telling you that now. That isn't in the book that I'm reading. I'm just telling you that's the energy that I'm being told to tell you. You need to make sure that you're going into relationships with reciprocity, where it's equal give and take. It's not where you're giving and not receiving, or where you're receiving and not giving. It needs to be something where it's balanced. That is what this is talking about. The book says embodiment. Giving and receiving is spiritual law and spell work. Give time, money, service, resources, and good vibes. If you are a generous giver, cultivate a practice of receiving. Receiving is a sacred feminine principle that makes many uncomfortable. Yeah, guilty. I'm one of the people. I'm raising my hand. I'm guilty. Receive compliments, joy, support, pleasure, friendship, money, and love. They are all the same to spirit. The declaration is, I give easily and freely. I receive easily. I receive freely and easily. Let me say that again. the declaration is, I give easily and freely. I receive freely and easily. You need to bring balance to your relationships. There's something that's out of balance. And something just said to me, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Something just said to me, because of the cloth that you are cut from, you don't deserve any less than what is owed to you. So don't take any less. Meaning, if you're giving out to someone, don't take any less than what you gave out. Now, let's add a caveat to all of this, because I need to break this down for a second. I'm not saying approach everything with the attitude of, okay, well, I'm giving this. Let me make sure I can get this back. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that, because like with Virgo, I was talking about energy vampires. That was the thing that was in Virgo's reading. You want to make sure that as you're giving, you're receiving. That way it's an even exchange, because if you're giving out your energy, whatever it is, whether you're giving money, your time, your love, take your pick. It's all energy. Everything is energy. And you're giving that out. You need to make sure that you are interacting with people who have the ability to give back to you as much as you gave. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to give back to you in the same form of energy that you gave out. Example, if you give someone $100, it doesn't mean that someone is going to turn around and give you $100 back in some sort of way. What it could mean is that, let's say you gave someone $100, and this is just an example, and later on, there's something that you need that isn't money. You may need time, where, let's say you're studying for an exam, and this person is really, really smart, and they know the subject that you're studying about. They may turn around and see that you're studying for an exam and you really want to pass. They may say, hey, let me help you. I don't know why I'm spitting all of a sudden all over the place. What's really going on with this? Like, really? Anyways, they may say, hey, let me help you with your studying. And you may even offer to pay them. Say, oh, well, let me give you some. And they may be like, no, don't worry about it. And they may work with you for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, helping you study, not expecting anything in return. But back before, you had given them $100 for whatever you had done. That's reciprocity. You're not receiving $100 back from them in the same way, but you are receiving energy back from them because they're giving you their time, is what they're doing. You need to make sure that you're in relationships with people where if they're not giving you the energy in the same, or should I say, the same currency, because it's a different currency. Time, money, all these things are different currencies, but they're all energy. They're just paying you back in a different currency. You need to make sure that the people in your orbit have the ability to give back to you as you have given to them. And when they are ready to give back to you, in order to remain balanced, you need to be able to receive willingly. You need to be able to receive what they want to give you. Where that person is saying, oh, I'll help you study. And you may be like, oh, don't worry about it. I don't want you to have to do that. You know, it's going to probably take up a lot of your time. You don't need to do that. You're not receiving the energy coming back to you. And the thing is that going back to the divine lineage, this is what you deserve. This is the relationship you deserve. You deserve them giving back to you because of the cloth that you are cut from. Because the universe is saying you are exceptionally special because of your lineage. Something that your ancestors did to have a closer relationship to the divine. The divine is like, okay, I really need to make sure they're taken care of. If the divine tries to bring something into your life and you're like, nope, I'm not going to receive it. You're trying to block it because you're not comfortable with receiving it. Then you're selling yourself short, because the cloth that you're cut from, you're supposed to have the best of the best due to whatever contract was formed throughout your divine lineage with the divine. But you have to be balanced out. You have to be balanced with your giving, and you have to be balanced with your receiving, is what I'm saying. All right. Wow, that took 20 minutes out of 2 cards. Oh, Scorpio, I did not think this was going to be that long. Let me go ahead and get on to the next deck right quick. I'm using the Under the Roses deck. May I have a card for Scorpio, please? May I have a card for Scorpio, please? For December 2021. Card for Scorpio. Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute now. Card for Scorpio, please. What is the message Scorpio needs to hear? That looked like it almost wanted to jump out, but we're just going... Whoa! Okay, all these cards just went all over the place, but something is telling me... I got these cards like this, and something is telling me to take this card right here. I don't know what it is, but I'm about to drop it and see. But all these other cards, ship fell down, face up. Child fell down, face up. Mountain fell down, face up. The moon fell down, face up. The other cards were down. So some of you may be dealing with travel. Some of you may be dealing with commerce. Going back to the equal give and take. Some of you might be bartering. Just throwing that out there. Also, some of you might have something dealing with the child too. Random thing I just heard. Someone may offer to give you child's clothes. Like, I guess you could say hand-me-downs or something. Okay. What I was talking about earlier, since we were talking about cloth and clothes and cut from a different cloth. Some of you may be like, oh, well, I don't want to take hand-me-downs because, you know, my child needs new clothes. Don't be so quick to turn down an offer. I know that's random, but something just came to me, and I have to say what comes to me. If someone makes an offer to you, again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And they are like, oh, I have some old clothes. You know, your child is turning whatever age. You may want to, you're welcome to take these. Don't be so quick to turn them down. This is my recommendation. I would say take them and then examine them. And what you don't want, give it to Goodwill. The reason I'm saying that is because something is telling me that for some reason, some of these clothes weren't even worn that often. I don't know why I feel, you know how if you go to Goodwill in nice areas, you can find some really nice things. I was just watching a video yesterday. There was this guy. He was talking about how he got an Armani jacket. And the jacket was, I think, like a $500 jacket. But it was at Goodwill. And the story behind it, because you know how people talk sometimes when they go to drop off their clothes or do this or do that. But the story behind it was the wife had bought it for the husband. And the husband didn't like the color or something like that. So instead of taking the jacket back, the wife was just like, okay, well, I'll just take it to Goodwill. So it was like a $500 Armani jacket in Goodwill. and the dude ended up getting it. I'm telling you that story to tell you that don't be quick to dismiss. For those this may resonate with, if somebody is offering you baby clothes, or really even clothes in general, but something said baby clothes, like child clothes, don't be so quick to dismiss that. Don't just say no right away as soon as they offer, because I feel like some of those clothes were either worn once or they weren't worn at all. You might be surprised. So I would say yes. Then once you get the clothes, examine them and then decide what you want to keep and do it that way. Just throwing it out there. All right. So something told me to take this card. And also, if I'm not mistaken, Libra got this card. What's really going on? Okay. So for the Fox, let me read this. And if any of these words resonate with you, let me know. The Fox. Job, skills, employment, deception, trap, treachery, manipulations, conniving, trickster, clever, cunning, hidden intentions, need for caution, someone who is intelligent and cunning, one's employment or skills, being trapped or tricked. Keep that in mind. Something just said to me as related to job, Scorpio. If you're on a job and you feel that you aren't being treated fairly, meaning that, let's say you have a bunch of people in your department and you're noticing that you're doing more work than everyone else, as if your boss is giving you more work, you might want to speak up, because your boss might be acting like a fox. So, and being kind of crafty, and going back to equal give and take, where, and something just said to me as well, that for those this is resonating with what I just said, for some of you, the reason your boss is giving you more work is because you do the best work out of the group. So they feel since you do the best work out of the group, they can give you more work. But they're not giving you more money. Back to giving and receiving. You need to make sure that there's some type of reciprocity and there's some type of compensation. If there isn't compensation in money, then there may need to be compensation in something else where you're receiving. Because right now, all you're doing is giving. Just throwing it out there. Also, with the Fox, you may want to be careful of those who come into your orbit selling you, dreams, or selling this or selling that, where they're saying, oh, you can make money with this, you can make money with that, because also entrepreneur was in here too. And if you're dealing with a situation like that where someone's like, oh, well, if you join with me, we can make this money. Not everything that glitters is gold. Pretty is as pretty does, and sometimes pretty can be pretty ugly. So just keep that in mind. May I have the energy for Scorpio for December 2021? May I have the energy for Scorpio for 2021? December. Thief is on the bottom of the deck. Definitely, Scorpio, make sure you're watching your money too in December. Someone might be trying to do a scam on you. Be careful who you give to. I'm going back to giving and receiving. And then with Fox, and then Thief is on the bottom of the deck. Be careful who you give to. May I have a card for Scorpio, please? Whoop, that came out. What card is that? Let me see. All right, got that. And let me get a card from my other custom deck. Take a look here. May I have a card for Scorpio, please, man? Okay, that was quick. Now, this just got interesting. Going back to the thief thing, Scorpio, if for the Scorpios who are in a relationship, yeah. First card that came out from my first custom deck, name starts with a Y. So Y, like Yolanda. I'm just saying a name, but could be any name that starts with a Y. Your name could start with a Y, or someone in your orbit's name could start with a Y. Someone coming into your orbit's name could start with a Y, or you could be going into someone's orbit where their name starts with a Y in the month of December. Also, it could be something where, like a product or something. Maybe you are buying a product, or either if you're an entrepreneur, you're starting a product and the product's name starts with a Y. So name starts with a Y. If that happens in December, make sure your spidey sense is on. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The card that came out of the second deck is wife. Remember with thief earlier, for those of you who are married, there may be a situation where if you're a male Scorpio or even a female Scorpio, because it's 2021, someone may be attempting to steal your wife is what's going on. Someone may be coming in offering to be your wife. You may be going in offering to be someone else's wife. There may be something involved in December of 2021 where it concerns a wife in your orbit. It could be you're the wife. There's a wife that you may know. Could be your mother, your auntie, your cousin, whoever. Something involving a wife. And that wife's name could start with a Y. So just letting you know. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But with giving and receiving, something is saying to me, someone may have turned down a proposal. As I'm looking at this, someone may have turned down a proposal. Some of you may need to turn down a proposal because you need to remember who you are, that you deserve better. Something just said to me, going back to the fox, someone may be coming in offering a proposal only because they want to take. They're an energy vampire. But again, remember who you are. Someone may say they want to make you their wife, but I honestly feel like you will be one of many if that is the case. Doesn't have to be, but that's the energy that I'm picking up for some of you. All right, let me take a card from the Gypsy Tarot. May I have a card for Scorpio, please? May I have a card for Scorpio? What is the message for Scorpio? That card seemed like it wanted to come out. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take one more. I just want to be sure. May I have one more card for... All right, thank you. Scorpio, some of you might be dealing with an Aries. And also going back to the boss thing. Yeah, some of you may have options in the month of December. 7 of Cups, water energy. And you may not know what to do. Again, going back to an offer. Some of you may have received an offer in marriage, a proposal, and you're trying to figure out, is this person right for you? And for some of them, they actually might be, especially if they're an emperor energy. Like the emperor, you want to marry an emperor. An emperor knows what they want. For others of you, emperor can also represent a boss at a job or something of that nature. Some of you may have other options on other places to go to, and you're looking at your options because of how you're being treated on the job by the emperor. Again, you could be dealing with an Aries. Also Capricorn, because the emperor is the father of the tarot deck. Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. So I'm going to say some of you might be dealing with the Capricorn too, as well. Trying to see. I'm looking at this. others of you, as I'm looking down, others of you, this person that's making an offer, it might be your wish fulfillment, but you just don't trust it for some reason. I'll tell you, go with your intuition. If you feel that something is off, then something's off. Go with your intuition. But for others of you, yeah, there may be someone who really, really wants to get to know you. They might come across kind of strong because you're kind of like, wow, you're coming across hot and heavy. That's how the Emperor is. The Emperor is the type of person where, and it could be, and it doesn't have to be a male, it can be a female in Emperor energy. The Emperor is the type of person where if somebody's in Emperor energy, they know what they want. And when they know what they want, they go for it. Now, Scorpio, this could be you in Emperor energy. This could be you waking up in December where you have finally realized who you are, your divine lineage. And you're like, wait a second, I deserve better than this. Whether it's on a job or whether it's in a relationship, whatever it is, you might be like, I deserve better than this. I have options. I'm the Emperor, because if anybody has options in the tarot deck, it is the Emperor. The Emperor has all the options. The Emperor is the Emperor for a reason. So you may have an epiphany moment, possibly the first weekend of December, which is when the solar eclipse happens. You might have an epiphany moment, and you may be like, you know what? Life is too short. I have options. I am whatever. You know what? I don't want to cuss, but you know what I'm saying. You may be in that energy where you're in big D energy, or you might be in the I'm that energy, and it's going to be like, you know what? It's a brand new day. You're putting your foot down, because that's what the Emperor does. I always get this mixed up with the way the thing is with the reflection in the camera. But with the Emperor puts his foot down. And that's what you may do. You may have done, when that light bulb goes off in your head and you realize what cloth you're cut from, you realize how divine your lineage is, and you're like, all of these relationships I have with people, whether it's on the job, whether it's in family, whether it's in love, whether it's in whatever, I'm putting my foot down. This is how we're moving going forward. That's what it is. That may be when you remember who you are. But that is the message throughout all of this, regardless of whatever comes your way during the month of December. Remember who you are. Divine lineage. All right. Giving and receiving. Reciprocity. Balance. That is what you deserve. You deserve nothing less than balance. Giving and receiving. Because of your divine lineage. All right, Scorpio, that is all I have for you. kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. kirwkc on all the social media platforms. Until next time, Scorpio, be blessed.